I mean, this horse here is probably another old favourite, you have to say. Another Godolphin horse. You will see it has been solid in pattern form for quite a while now. It ran to a high level, really. Anything above 90 first time out is decent, I think. Especially in the UK, because they do tend to not rate it very highly. Then it ran around Royal Ascot time, you see, around 100 is acceptable. And then anything up to, say, 120 at the end of the season. So this one here has been placed in 2 Group 2 races, improving from its novice mark. It was then dropped in class theoretically in France into the Group 3 race at Deauville this past weekend. And again, it obliged. But if you look at the bare figures of it, they are trying to tell us that in 5 runs, only 3 times in pattern company, that this horse has only improved by 11. No, so make of that what you will with the old Racing Post ratings. I will always say that. The horse has done nothing wrong. The pedigree of it, Mysterious Night, it's an old favourite, because this horse here is actually a full sister to Althika, a horse you heard me mention not so long ago. From winning on its debut at first, it went on to win 2 American Group 1 races for me at good prices. It ran well. If this one can do half of what she did, we're on the right track. The dam itself, Mistrusting, is a listed winner. The second dam was Group 1 placed, Group 2 and a listed winner. She is from the family of a horse that won the Middle Park in 1993. And it was also a fairly useful stallion called First Trump. But there won't be as much classic opportunities here, I don't think. Maybe the Dark Angel will have to go some here, I think. But it is a very nice horse, and I do think at this stage, until it proves it's not going to be a classic horse, and it means it's running in distances that are short for it, or it's getting beat, then we have to follow it, really. You'll see that it's family number 8K. This one was actually quite difficult to find. The 5th dam of it is only 20 years ago. So they've been churning them out. We had to sort of go back to the 12th or 13th dam before we could even get a line on the site we used. We found Tyne Lily and Linton Lily and Lent Lily on the site. And there's Lillian, the dam before that, you see. But it was a tricky one to find this, which was why the break was so long. It's related to some interesting horses though. Grundy, he jumps out straight away. That if you go further down, because don't forget this is the 12th or 13th dam of it. So we're moving nearer to it when you go down here, theoretically. It's like train tracks, you have to go all the way back to there to get on the line that we're on. Excuse me, these horses are just all branching off, doing their own thing. Like Royal Power won the German 2000 Guineas. There's some interesting horses down here. If people look at them, they might not be too far related to ours if you go back far enough to the dams, you see. But there's not really a lot in the modern day from our bit, really. Ours would be boring enough. You see Lillian go straight to Bold Lily on here. There's no mention of ours. Little mark on the site, I can see. So that is where we sort of branch off into our little section. Somewhere along here. Yeah, so it's not this line, it's not, because Watervale, they're not ours. But I can see. Yeah, if you look at ours, they're all different. It's the same but different. So they are quite closely related to them horses, but not exactly related to them. And what else is in the pedigree? If you get to the top of it, you'll see this is another one that went back all the way to the 18th century. So when you think you're getting close to the modern day, Yeah, in fact, in 1905, we got Oaks winner Eswara there from 2002. And Midway Lady, I think, was a good dam as well. I can't remember what it was the dam of, but it certainly was. Seen it before anyway. Great British, Guineas and Oaks winner. And then you see you back into the pre-war days and just after the war in Scandinavia. It's not really a classic line, is it? Looking at this, you'd be thinking he could be struggling with this one. There's a Gold Cup winner there, Arcadianites. It's not a classic win. I don't mean it's going to win a Group 1, you see. Altheka won 2 Group 1s for us. When you call a site Classic Watch, it's got to show us it's running in classics, running in classic trials at 3. At 2, you can definitely watch it. If it wins a Group 1 at 2, and people will be demanding it goes for the Guineas. Yeah, and that's what we're sort of hoping with horses like this. That their form just demands that they run. Argentinian Oaks winner there by Polyglot. Perugia Wells. Polyglot come back as a good jump sire in Europe. After what I was to say, after me looking at Studbrook Argentina for a while, Polyglot is a bloody good sire out there. There's other horses in the sea. It's all on Middle Europe. Then you're back to our section, Grundy. A few more in Polish, Yugoslavia and Italy. And a lot of it goes to New Zealand then, you see, quite recently. There's some European sires like Danehill Dancer, Danehill. You know, they're horses that are bred in Australia and won Australian races, but bred in New Zealand. From European stallions, shuttle stallions, you see. So Australia have had a good go on it recently, you see. They've been on it as far way back as 1919, really, horses like that. Yeah, so it's also really, if you see one, yeah, it's an interesting line. Sprinter, you'd say, Australian horses round the bend. You know, Altheka didn't really run straight mile very often. I do think this is a horse worth looking at. You know, it's been running at Pattern Company all the time. It's won a Group 3. You know, it's been beaten in 2 Group 2s though, so when they step it up in Classic, it gets beat. But now it's had a confidence booster. You know, they might start trying to trying to move up the ladder a bit with it. That's what I'm hoping anyway. But for now, Mysterious Night definitely has to go on the list as a pattern winner. Impossible to leave it off at this stage.